This video demonstrates how to edit the grid in Model Muse. First, you can delete grid lines by selecting the Delete Grid Lines button, and then clicking on a grid line. Notice how the cursor changes to an X when it's over a grid line. You can move grid lines by selecting the Drag Grid Lines button and then dragging the grid line with the mouse. You could add horizontal or vertical grid lines too. In fact, you could add a layer this way, but you can't do that in ModFlow. In ModFlow, use the ModFlow Layer Groups dialog box to add or remove layers. Select Model, ModFlow Layer Groups, and add a layer, actually a layer group. This is a group of layers, and if you wish, you can have each group represent more than one layer. This group of layers, for instance, represents 7 layers. I added a layer at the bottom, but it isn't very thick. Let's make it a bit thicker. Do that by assigning values to the dataset that defines its bottom. Here's the new layer. To subdivide grid cells, click the Subdivide button, drag with the mouse, and then fill in the values in the dialog box. If you want a gradual transition in sizes of grid cells, use the Smooth Grid command. Rotating the grid is easy. Click the Drag to Rotate Grid button and then drag the grid to the correct angle. If you want a precise angle, select Grid, specify grid angle. There are several ways to change which column, row, and layer are selected. Usually I use the selection cube. The red square in the selection cube indicates the selected layer. I can click below it to make it go down, or above it to make it go up. I can do the same thing on the selection cubes for the front and side views. You could also click the Select Column, Row, or Layer button and then click on the grid. If you need more precision, select Grid, select Col, Row, Layer, and enter values.